In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You are advised that any view expressed by the host or their guest are not necessarily the views of the owners or management of TogiNet Radio, Togi Entertainment, or the Owners Group, Inc.
Motherhood Incorporated proudly presents Military Mom Talk Radio, live on TogiNet.com. Co-hosted by Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Back, the owner of Motherhood Incorporated. Military Mom Talk Radio is here with a powerful platform for women to discuss their ideas, issues, and concerns with respect to the military lifestyle. Military Mom Talk Radio encourages you to share your experiences of being a military wife and mother. This show is dedicated to educating your family about the resources that are available in both the public and private sector. And we'll be sharing helpful information from women around the world. We'll cover everything military, from helping a family member cope with post-traumatic stress disorder, to navigating government programs dealing with family issues, to the struggles of deployment, along with being a working mother, both in and out of the home. This is Military Mom Talk Radio. And here are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Back.
Hey, military moms. This is Sandra Back, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Tina Gonzalez. Tina, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I think we start the show the same way every week. I think I need, our segment producer to write me a new intro. What do you think?
It's okay.
It's okay. It works. It works.
Yeah,
how was your week? Richard, did he throw the ball out this weekend at the Padres game?
Yes, he did. It was so much fun. It was cool. He threw a strike, I believe.
Did he really?
Yeah, from where I was sitting, that's what it looked like. That's what he says it was, so I'm going to take his word for it.
That's awesome. So for those of you that are joining us this week that haven't followed Tina and Richard's exploits, can you tell our listeners today what Richard did this weekend and why?
He was selected for the American Patriot Award, and so honoring him, the Padres do a military appreciation every Sunday, and so honoring him for the Patriot Award that he won, him and also another gunnery sergeant from the base were invited out onto the field to accept their awards, and they also threw out the first pitch during the game.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, it was really cool. The kids thought it was amazing. They're like, look at Dad's on TV.
So did they watch from home, or did they go to the stadium with you?
Oh, no, we were all there together. It was quite an adventure. I can only imagine.
All 5 of you guys got together?
Yeah, it was all 5 of us together. It was pretty good. I went prepared, Cracker Jacks, candy, cotton candy. I made sure I had all of the corners taken care of.
Go, military mom, go.
Yep, we did good. Yeah,
that would be easier to be deployed than going to the Padres game with all 4 kids.
Yeah, I was scared. But they did really well. I was pretty amazed. It could have went a lot worse, but they were really good.
That is awesome. Well, we have the best show today. We are going to take a break from we've had like kind of a run of PTSD every week coming up on the show, so we're going to lighten things up a little bit, and we're going to bring on today an interior designer. She's a celebrity interior designer to the stars, which is really fun and exciting. We're so happy to have her with us today. And then we also have a veterinarian who works for a veterinary pet insurance company that offers a military discount. So not only is she going to answer lots of questions and give us helpful information, but it is a company that offers a military discount.
That's awesome. I always like
awesome.
I always like discounts, and I love pet insurance.
Do you have pet insurance?
Pet insurance is the way to go, yes. After all of my experiences with my dogs needing surgery, I learned that pet insurance is something valuable to have. I just thought it made no sense, and I was like, why would people waste their money on pet insurance until my dog had to have a $3,000 ACL repair, and it cost me a lot of money, and I was like, okay, pet insurance is the way to go.
Right now I understand.
Yes, well, I do.
Great. So Dr. Silene Young is going to join us in the third and fourth segments of our show. But first, we're going to welcome a celebrity interior designer. And Tina, with 4 kids, and why don't you give our listeners the ages of your kids?
Actually, today is Alyssa's birthday. She just turned 12 today. And so we have 12.
Happy birthday.
Yes. We have 12. As you can hear, the 4-year-old, the soon-to-be 4-year-old and the 2-year-old in the background. And then we also have a going-to-be 7-year-old.
Wow. Well, we've had my son Zach's birthday this weekend, and his birthday was Friday, and he turned 4, so we're going to wish him a happy birthday as well. But with this many kids, and now Tina, do you live in base housing or are you off base?
Yes, I'm on base housing.
You are in base housing, and how is it to decorate base housing?
Well, once upon a time, it was really easy because they didn't really care what you did, and it was just, if you want to get crazy and paint your walls, you can. Just you have to make sure you primer them back. But now that they have a housing management that has taken over all of the houses, it says right in there in the lease you can't paint your walls.
Oh. Well, but you know what? The good thing is that we have celebrity interior designer Erin Ferucci with us, and she's going to give us not only a little bit of information about her, some fun stories about her life, but maybe some cheap and cheerful decorating tips that we can use to work not only whether you're in base housing or off base. So, Erin, are you with us?
Hi, ladies.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great. Well, to begin with, Erin, can you give us a quick rundown about your background? Like, how did you get into interior design, and what makes you special?
I was actually born into interior design. I'm 4 generations into it. My grandmother was a very big designer in Missouri, and her father as well. And my aunt had an antique shop. I grew up in the 70s around French and Italian antiques, and I just love the business. I'm very passionate about it.
And so, and where do you live, and where do you run your business?
I live and work in Los Angeles.
You live and work in Los Angeles. And how long have you been in Los Angeles?
My whole life. But I'm based here. I'm working on a job in Hong Kong right now. I've done a lot of work in the British West Indies, New York, Miami. I fly everywhere. So I'm like a traveling designer.
That is so exciting. Now, there's a reason today that you're on Military Mom Talk Radio. And can you tell us just a very little bit, because he is is he special ops?
Yes. I have a twin brother who was just deployed to Afghanistan last week, so we're rooting for him and his men, praying.
Outstanding. So we're going to send a shout-out to John, Erin's twin brother.
Sean, actually, S-E-A-N.
Oh, Sean, sorry.
Sean, Okay.
So we're going to send a shout-out to him that he may be successful in what he's doing and all of them return in one piece, happy and healthy.
Thank you.
Interior design, what kind of things, we were talking a little bit earlier about having some ideas of what people can do when they're on base, and some of these bases are really far out. I mean, they're out away from the mainstream. What are some things that we could do to, kind of brighten up our spaces, like, as you put it, in a cheap and cheerful way?
Yes, Sandra, as you may know, I've been working on a book for quite some time. It's just taking a long time, cheap and cheerful decorating. And I spend money for a living, and so I really know how to save people money, and everybody I work with is on a budget. So I'm always very budget conscious. My first thing is eBay and Craigslist. I mean, I unload lots of my customers' old pieces that are in pretty perfect condition, and we sell the most beautiful things on eBay and Craigslist for pennies. So that would be my first go-to site, and find somebody close to you that's getting rid of some things.
So that's, so really you just need to log on Craigslist.org or go to eBay.com and, start searching for furniture and accessories. And now what would happen if, let's say, you go and you find something and a piece looks, like you find a chair or a couch or something like that looks really nice, but it's not the right color, it's not the right kind of fabric. What are some things that you would recommend?
Well, I think the most expensive item is the actual physical body itself, the actual wood construction of the sofa or the chair. I think if you buy any good bone chair or a sofa or an ottoman or a dining chair and just have it recovered, go to your local guy who needs the business right now, negotiate a really good price, and have it recovered.
So for those of you that are looking for somebody, you'd probably look up, you could look on the Internet under, like, upholstery, for your area. And then what about the fabrics? Would you go look online for fabrics? Would you go to a fabric store? I mean, what would you do?
I think every neighborhood has fabrics. And, IKEA even has great fabrics that you can go online and buy them, I say cheap and cheerful by the yard, and really good taste and great selections. But online fabrics, I don't know a lot of fabric companies that sell online. I'll have to do some research about that. I'm a touchy-feely person, so I prefer to go into the store and touch and feel everything.
Well, that makes sense because you are going to be sitting on it, you are going to be laying on it. But the whole point is that it's the most expensive part of the furniture. What did you call it, the bones?
It's the bones of the piece, the body of the piece.
The body of the piece.
Right. Everything can always be repaired.
Okay, so those are some great ideas. We could go to IKEA.com for fabric. You could check out eBay. You could check out Craigslist for the body of the pieces. And we're going to be going to break in about a minute and a half. So could you share with me quickly what are some of your magazines that you get sent to your house?
Well, I support all the American magazines. As you know, all of our magazines have gone in and out of bankruptcy and trouble, but I love House Beautiful. I love Elle Decor. I love Veranda. And then on a special treat every now and then, I'll treat myself to a French magazine because they are a little pricey.
Oh, wow. And do you pick those up at a magazine shop, or do you order them online?
Yeah, they're a local magazine shop. They're $10 usually, but they're just filled with so much great inspiration and photos and great recipes and, like, the south of France. I love Côte Sud, S-U-D.
Okay, well, listen, we're going to go to break right now. I'm here with Erin Ferucci. We're going to come back second segment with Tina Gonzalez. We're going to talk a little bit more about interior design. And when we get back from that, we will have our veterinarian coming on. So let's take a break.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system, keeping the home fires burning? That's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Tina Gonzalez. And we'll be right back after these. Girlfriended is on TogiNet. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, with your hosts Patty Wyatt and Lisa Jernigan. This show is your chance to share, learn, laugh, and connect with other women. The Girlfriended principle was born out of loss.
Lisa had recently had her mother pass away from cancer, and my mom was murdered. A man just walking into a room and started a 23-second shooting spree.
I think one of the things we both realized going through those tragedies that you can be extremely okay and be extremely sad.
Check out girlfriended.com. And then be a part of Girlfriended, the radio show. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central.
You know, your boyfriend or your husband or whatever, they don't totally understand that emotional side to them like another woman does. And I think that's so important just to have somebody that you go, she gets me.
Check out the website, girlfriended.com. Don't miss Girlfriended with Patty Wyatt and Lisa Jernigan. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. What's your story? Are you living it? Well, you could be. It's What's Your Story with Hillary Bilbrey. Friday mornings at 10 Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Her passion is helping others discover, create, and live their personal brands. Yep, you heard me. You have a brand. No different than Coke, Pepsi, or Nike. You are a walking, talking, living, breathing brand. You're not a logo. You're not a tagline. The choices you make become the path you take. This is your brand. Now, live your story. Your brand is not just what you say it is. It's also what others say it is. So what are you communicating? And how can you create an authentic brand? We'll take on these challenges with What's Your Story? Every week, Hillary will feature teens, moms, and organizations that are learning and living their story. Now, her passion is to help others discover, create, and live their personal brands. To find out more, go to inspiredbyfamily.com. It's What's Your Story with Hillary Bilbrey. Friday mornings at 10 Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front, with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sail at the BX. Now, let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Beck.
Hey, Military Moms. This is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with my co-host, Tina Gonzalez. Tina, you sound like you have a household of kids in there today.
No, and it's only my 2 today. I just don't understand.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes. I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's the first day away from their sisters, because today was the first day of school. And so I don't think that they just can't keep themselves occupied by themselves, so they have to keep coming and finding me.
Oh, wow.
Keep trying to hide.
You're to hide. Your school's already started.
Yes, our school started, thank God, today.
No, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I have to rip off that Staples commercial because I always think it's so funny.
Yeah, today was the day.
Yeah,
so
week.
Everyone's been up like super early, and nap times are totally not working out today at all.
No,
so, yeah.
No. Well, it sounds like it. Because it was noisy over here too. I was like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to hear us between your kids and my kids. It's like like military noisy mom radio.
Yeah.
Well, we have Erin Ferucci. She's our guest, one of our guests today, and Erin Ferucci. You can check out her website. Erin, what's your website address?
EFerucciDesigns.com.
So EFerucciDesigns.com. EFerucciDesigns.com. And you are a celebrity interior designer, 4th generation, and I got to tell you, your job just sounds so glamorous and so fantastic. I mean, you fly all over the world. I've known you personally, I don't know, how long? 4 years? 5 years?
Yes, uh-huh.
Something like that, and you are as beautiful as you are glamorous, and you got to share with us, because you deal with celebrities, you deal with famous people, people of interest, news and notes. What are they?
High maintenance.
High maintenance people. Yes, very much so. What is your day like? I mean, tell me, walk me through a day or two of Erin Ferucci's life, because it's really, you really do have a fantastically different life.
Gosh, and I envy your lives. Well, it's really not that glamorous. There's only 5-minute glamour intervals throughout the year. And I'll share one of them with you later on. But basically, I wake up like everybody else and try to have 10 minutes of exercise, wanting an hour. I meet with all my vendors, like my upholsterer or my drapery workroom or my cabinet guys, and kind of go over details of all the jobs that we're working on. In the middle of the day, I'm usually at my job sites, meeting with my clients and their needs and answering questions, and meeting with my contractors and following up on their work. And then I usually have a salad on my lap in the car, very not glamorous. And then I spend the afternoon shopping for materials and fabrics and looking at all kinds of neat stuff. And then by the end of the day, I'm wiped out.
So when you said something really funny about your use of high heels. And because you meet with carpet people, you might be on construction sites, but yet because you're in a glamorous position, you have to go out looking nice most of the time.
Right. Presentable.
And I just think it was funny. Like one time you told me that, you'll put your shoes on really quickly, go into your meeting, come back and take your high heels off. I mean, I just thought that was really funny.
Oh, yeah, I keep flip-flops in the car, and in my closet at home, all my shoes are labeled according to how long I can walk in them. So I have the 30-minute shoes. I've got the 5-minute looky-loos that are just in for a quick meeting and then out. And then I have the 2-hour with the cush in them. Those are 2 hours. But most of the time, I'm a beach girl, and I love my flip-flops.
That is so amazing. That's so amazing that, you know, after all your travels around the world and after all the people you meet, that you're just, you know, you are, and I will vouch for you, you are just a beach girl at heart.
Right.
Why don't you tell us about some of the jobs that you've done in your career, because they are pretty cool.
Just like really interesting locations, I think, would be the funnest, just to kind of go to Miami and create a crew and learn the city. And I did a lot of work in Miami, but I used to get so lost in Miami because I was surrounded by water, and I'm used to living in the Pacific Ocean where I just have one body of water. So Miami was kind of fun. I met a lot of Cubans and a lot of vegan Cubans, like my upholstery workshop. So everywhere I go, I meet the funnest people. Working in the West Indies, I met a lot of people from Bali and, you know, just different parts of the world that worked on a resort that I worked on. And that was kind of neat and fun. So it's meeting the people, I think, is really fun.
So you've designed hotels, homes, you know, what is it you do?
I do a little bit of everything, Sandra, including boats and a few jet interiors.
Wow. So you've actually done the design work in a private jet? 3 of them. 3 of them?
Yeah. That was fun. In jets, everything has to be weighed. So it doesn't matter how pretty it is. It all has to make a certain weight for that aircraft. So that was kind of interesting.
Well, that's kind of, Tina, don't you think everything's got to be weighed? That's kind of like being moved around the country or around the world with the military.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, because there's like a weight requirement on everything. So on an airplane, so if you want to bring a pillow in or you want to bring a piece of art or, I don't know, could you put a wall hanging in an airplane?
No, I don't think so. Usually no art in planes, Sandra.
No art. See, that's why you do your job and I do mine.
Right.
So you have a funny jet story, though, to share with us about a celebrity client that we will not name. We're just going to call him Bob.
Bob, yes. Bob and I had a long history together. The funniest, strangest moment was when I was in his private plane, and I'm sitting in there with his assistants, and then the guy that does the hair for his movies, and then his makeup artist for the movies, and then the stylist for the movies that does all the clothing. And I think one of his managers was on the plane, and here's me. Oh, his trainer. Don't let me forget the hunky trainer. And then there's me, just an interior designer, sitting on this plane looking at this huge cast of characters. And Bob would sit with each one of us and go over specific things, you know, each one of our traits, like whatever we were doing for him. He would just walk around the plane, and that was sort of an strange, crazy moment that was surreal, like pinching myself that I couldn't believe I was a part of this mixture of a salad of people. You're just all on this airplane with Bob, as Bob would go from person to person and have his little meetings with you. And then what did everybody do after when you got there? Did you all go to your own hotel rooms? Yeah, we all dispersed where we had to disperse. But it was it was a surreal moment. That was kind of fun. Now, and you've worked with heads of state. You've worked with people who, are so unbelievably wealthy. What's the largest budget you've ever worked with? Gosh, that's a good question. I try not to think about it or count too much. I really don't know, Sandra. A lot. Big. I really don't even know. Yeah. And I work with the tiniest budgets, like charity or myself. The shoemaker always has holes in his shoes. I'm finally getting a chair recovered that I've had for 10 years. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you meet a client and they want you to decorate an office or they want you to decorate a hotel or their home, what do you begin with? Like, how do you get inspiration? Well, I try to find out what their budget is, which everybody's on a budget, especially these days. And then I just try to get to know the person as much as I can, because I really match my interiors to the person I'm doing them for. I don't have a cookie-cutter look that I do on every client. So I think that's what makes me stand out to be more unique than other designers. I'm really a team player, and if my client wants an entire black and white apartment, I do it. You want black and white? Here's black and white. You want a purple bedroom? Here's a purple bedroom. So it's kind of fun. I just try to get to know my clients as much as possible. So in knowing your
clientele, then do you shop?
I shop. Shop like crazy, and then I just pile everything together. I pull everything together on top of piles and piles and piles of inspiration, and I just, whether it's their birth sign, where they were born, how long they've been married, all the relationships and tastes. I'm pretty perceptive after doing it for so long. I'm pretty perceptive, Sandra.
So when you think of our listeners today, and they might be in base housing where, like for example, Tina said, you can't paint the walls. What are some things you can do to brighten up a room? Like what if you came in and you saw like a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom military housing with plain walls, what would be some recommendations that you could do to brighten up the space?
Well, like maybe for a kid's room, if you go back on one of my blogs on Island Living Designs, you'll see it on my website. In the very beginning of blogging, I did a story on framing fabric samples. And I just framed bright-colored Caribbean sample fabric, like, red, orange, yellow, blue, and I just framed them and hung them on a wall like art. And I thought that was a great way to add color to a room.
That is, and you could literally make a very big piece if you had a large wall to cover.
Or even out of wallpaper. You can, get wallpaper samples and frame them as art.
That's a good idea. That's
talk about cheap and cheerful.
Color. Yeah, you could splash the room with just a little bit of color.
Right, and you can take it with you when you go.
Right, because if you didn't have the frame would break down. It would be really light. It wouldn't be easy. It wouldn't be difficult to ship from place to place.
Right, just get basic white or black frames, Crate and Barrel or Pottery Barn or Erin Brothers, right? Even IKEA.
Oh, yeah. I love IKEA. The store's amazing.
I think everybody loves IKEA who has kids.
And Target. I'm a big Target shopper, too.
Yes, I like Target, too.
And, of course, you can't forget the mothership, Walmart.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny because you can find so much more online also. And their shipping, if you hit it right, I mean, normally you can end up getting free shipping, but they have amazing deals online of stuff they do not even carry in the stores. I've noticed that.
That is so great. You guys, we are about to go to break. My name is Sandra Beck. I'm here with my co-host, Tina Gonzalez. Thank you very much, celebrity interior designer, Erin Ferucci. We loved having you today. We'd love to have you back at some point to maybe we'll talk about how to make use of a small space. Right now, we're going to break. We're going to come back with Dr. Silene Young.
Thank you.
Are you a military mom? Looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? That's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Tina Gonzalez. And we'll be right back after these. Here comes Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues today, with Sandra Beck and Christy Holly. Tuesday evenings at 6, 5 Central, part of the Her Insight Network on TogiNet.com. Motherhood Talk Radio provides a powerful platform for women today by giving interesting, inspiring, and inspirational information to mothers around the globe as they navigate everything from child care to corporate formation. Motherhood Talk Radio will have best-selling authors, gurus of happiness, women of interest, who every single day make our world a better place for our families. Motherhood Talk Radio, powered by Motherhood Incorporated, is co-hosted by corporate executive Sandra Beck and stay-at-home mom Christy Holly. For more information on each and the show, go to motherhoodtalkradio.com. Mom, this really is your show. Motherhood Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Christy Holly. Tuesday afternoons at 6, 5 Central, part of the Her Insight Network on TogiNet.com. Hey, you living the dream like Nina and Cindy?
Sweet dreams are made of the ends.
Were you shocked by the Chuck E. Cheese calamities, diaper dilemmas, and major mom minivan mishaps? Then get ready to share it with Living the Dream Moms with Nina Fry and Cindy Schmitzer, Thursday mornings at 10, 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet. And as Nina and Cindy say, if you're thinking it, we're saying it. It's your chance to discuss, share, and learn from two moms who have been there, done that, and got the t-shirts. Check out their website, ltdchix.com. Living the Dream Moms is all about all things moms have to deal with daily. Nina and Cindy are two ordinary frazzled moms who admit when they need help and do their best to research and discuss topics that are not always talked about. Living the Dream Moms are just two real women who are discussing the trials and tribulations and triumphs of everyday mom lives. You are not alone. It's Living the Dream Moms with Nina Fry and Cindy Schmitzer. Thursday mornings at 10 Eastern, 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front, with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sail at the BX. Now, let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Beck.
Hey, Military Moms. This is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with my co-host, Tina Gonzalez. Wasn't Erin fun?
Oh, she was. I love her.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to come. I think we need to have her back maybe at holiday time for like some cheap and cheerful holiday decorating ideas. What do you think?
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, you think that would fly?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
That would be good.
That would be good. All right. Well, we have next up on our agenda Dr. Silene Young, and she is oh my gosh, this is a mouthful. Let's see if I get this right. She is the Director of Professional Services for Veterinary Pet Insurance, and she's on the Board of Directors for the American Association of Corporate and Public Practicing Veterinarians. Oh my God, that's as bad as the NACRA lady we had on. And Silene, welcome to the show. Dr. Young? Paging Dr. Young. Did we lose her? Because I can hear you, Tina.
I hear you guys. Can you not hear me?
Oh, there you are.
There you are.
But at least
All
I
right.
have to go paging Dr. Young, paging Dr. Young.
I'm here.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Well, now that we're off to an inauspicious start, Silene, would you like to give us a quick rundown of your background before we get into our content?
Sure. First, that was a really nice job with that acronym. Well done. Yeah, we like acronyms in this profession. So my background, I've spent quite a few years as a practicing veterinarian. I've owned my own veterinary practice, spent many years practicing emergency, mostly dog and cat emergencies, and then chose to leave practice full-time to go to work for a corporation. I worked for Bayer Animal Health, which develops pharmaceuticals for animals, for 5 years, and just recently went to work for veterinary pet insurance here in California. I'm in California now.
You've been all over the country.
Yes, and the world. So
let's see. Where should we start? Because veterinary pet insurance, I mean, Tina, you are so helpful in sharing. I, of course, do not have pet insurance for my dogs, primarily because Silene is my friend, and I can always call her to find out information and go, oh, my gosh, Silene, what do I do now? But it is an important thing. And Tina, you were talking about your dog. What happened to your dog? And you said he had to have a $3,000 surgery?
Yeah, we had a red-nosed pit bull. We were a major pit bull lover. And I was unaware that they cost so much money when they learn to, like, crawl the chain link fences like squirrels, and she would continuously jump our fence all the time, constantly. And, yeah, one of her little escapades that she went on, she ended up tearing her ALC, and she needed a meniscus repair. Oh, it was horrible. I almost cried when they were like, oh, it's going to be $3,000. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. No way. And they're like, yeah, but if you had pet insurance, we would have covered this and this and this. And I'm like, we need pet insurance. So as soon as after that happened, we forked out that $3,000 bill. We ended up getting pet insurance, and it was remarkable, all the things they cover. Shots, the reimbursing for the meds. I mean, it's amazing. And I'm one of those people, like, I cannot believe people waste their money on pet insurance. What a big money waster. Until it happened to me, and I was crying because I should have had the pet insurance. So that's what the book.
Well, and you paid out of pocket? Did you pay out of pocket for that surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then ended up having to get rid of the dog because that still couldn't keep her in, and she continued to jump. Yeah, we had to rehome her. But yeah, that's kind of sad. That's a bitter little subject there. But that got me onto the pet insurance, and it's funny because I had so many friends that were like, oh, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. And as soon as it happened to me, oh, yeah, they were calling up and getting right on the pet insurance bandwagon with me after that happened to my dog.
Absolutely. Well, and Silene, can I call you Silene instead of Dr. Young?
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Okay. Because we're all girls here, and it is Military Mom, and we do love acronyms in the military, and we love them in the medical profession, too.
Exactly.
You work for Veterinary Pet Insurance, and they have kind of a really cool story about who their first policy was sold to. Do you want to share that with us?
That's true, and I want to thank Tina for doing all the work for me. I almost don't have to say anything. That's exactly how most of our policyholders become policyholders, because they think it can't happen to them, and then it does, and then they get pet insurance. So the issue is always to get them before it happens. That's always the challenge. So our very first client was Lassie. That's how this company started about 28 years ago, and we've been growing ever since.
And that was the first. So in 1982, you sold a policy to Lassie, but right now, I mean, your company is huge. I mean, it insures how many pets nationwide?
We're close to 500,000 pets insured nationwide. We are the largest, mostly because we're the most stable company and have been in the U.S. market the longest. So VPI has been in the U.S. insuring pets for about 28 years, and there are probably 50 other companies that have come and gone in that period of time. So stability is an issue, and we've been around for a while, at least in this industry, which is relatively new in the U.S. We're certainly the most stable and the oldest.
Now, what do plans cover for something like this? I mean, Tina was talking about, insurance for, a hip or a knee, a meniscus thing. And, I think of my dogs, when my dog ate some poison that the neighbor put down to get rid of his gophers, it was $1,000 for them just to look at her. It's really expensive when they get hurt or they get sick. So what do these plans, what kind of things do they cover?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The biggest issue, as I think Tina pointed out, is that nobody thinks it's going to happen to them, but anybody who's had a pet knows that something happens to all of them at some point. And the problem people have is they don't realize how expensive it's gotten to care for them. We have veterinary care that's on the equivalent of human care in terms of the ability to do surgeries and treatments and chemotherapy, and pet insurance makes a big dent in helping that out. It doesn't cover 100%, but it covers a huge portion of the cost. So the policies vary from company to company, and even within companies, there are a variety of options available. It depends on how much you want to pay a month in premium and what kind of coverage you want. So policies can cover everything from illnesses, accidents, injuries, cancer, even well care, preventative care like spay, neuter, and vaccines. Or you can buy one that's much smaller and just, say, covers injuries and accidents like poisonings or broken legs, and doesn't cover things like diabetes and illness. So it really is variable depending on what you're looking for.
Okay, and so for the pet insurance that comes from your company, which is Veterinary Pet Insurance, and what's their website if anybody wants to check it out?
Yeah, there's a couple places they can go. From a military standpoint, we actually offer a 5% discount to any members of military. Actually, that includes any service folks like police and fire as well. And they would actually go to a slightly different place to register. I'm going to give you the general site first, which is petinsurance.com. So that's pretty easy. If you want to get the 5% discount, you either have to call us directly to sign up, and that is 1-800-USA-PETS, or you can go online and you type in E as in Eric, B as in boy, .petinsurance.com. And then you can enter there's a section for employees or members. You click on that and type in military, and it'll come up.
Great, and then you'll get your military discount.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's terrific. And so now the military goes all over the world. So what do you do when like when you could be in Okinawa, you could be, in any number of bases around the world. When your pets go with you, how does that work? Are you still covered?
Yeah, that's correct. And actually, that's one of the benefits of this particular company, and it's something, if you're a traveling person or in the military, you want to check before you get a policy, because every company has different rules and regulations. In our case, you can get care from any veterinarian in the world. We just ask that it's a veterinarian and that you send in the invoice. It doesn't matter where they are. You do have to sign up as a U.S. resident because we're not licensed to sell insurance in places like Japan. But most people have a U.S. address that they use for a home-based address. So you use that address. So let's say you're based out of Ohio. You go ahead and put that address in, and you'll get your pet insurance. And it doesn't matter where you take your dog or cat or lizard. Actually, we cover exotics too. So if you happen to be dragging a lizard or a bird around with you, that works as well. And you can go anywhere you want, and we'll go ahead and take care of the coverage.
So what are some other type of pets that you insure? I mean, dog, cat, you mentioned lizard, bird, snake.
I believe that we're the only insurance company right now that covers what we call exotics. And, the huge majority are cats and dogs that are covered, of course. But we actually do have policies available for lizards and birds and tortoises and snakes and ferrets and hedgehogs, and the list is long enough that I don't have it memorized. But you can go on our website and find out.
Oh, rabbits? Would they cover rabbits?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Certainly the most common ones.
Yeah, I went to the Antelope Valley Fair this week, so I saw goats. I'm like, you cover goats.
There you go. We don't cover livestock. The only thing that's livestocky that we sort of cover are pot-bellied pigs, because people usually have them as pets. But we don't cover, even if a goat's a pet, we're not going to cover it. I don't believe we cover goats and sheep and cows and things like that.
I should tell my dad. He has lizards, and he has a pot-bellied pig, and he has a tortoise.
There you go.
That's where he needs to go.
Exactly.
in California.
Well, it's amazing. I was when I was in residential real estate down in Beverly Hills, I went into the rock star home, a very, very famous rock star, and he had a collection of like 30 snakes, and they were all in these, he was of course a big rock star, so he could afford. He probably didn't need the pet insurance, but I was thinking gosh, what if one of these got sick? I mean, in Silene, this is probably a stupid question, but yeah, vets do treat snakes.
Yeah, veterinarians can treat anything. You just have to find a vet that specializes in that species, so everybody doesn't.
Oh, that's good to know. Well, we are here today, Military Mom Talk Radio, with Dr. Silene Young. She works for Veterinary Pet Insurance that does offer a military discount. So I would encourage you guys to check out their website at www.petinsurance.com. We will be back with Silene after the break to ask her some questions about her veterinary experience.
Are you a military mom? Looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? That's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Tina Gonzalez. And we'll be right back after these. Every woman wants to know how successful women manage their lives. So join host Sharon Silver for Getting to the Heart of the Matter. Every Thursday at 1 Eastern, noon Central, part of the Her Insight Network on TogiNet.com. Have you ever wondered who the woman behind the family, service, or product really is? How she became an innovator? How she reaches out and connects with others? Or how do they do it all without sacrificing their family or themselves? Getting to the Heart of the Matter is for you. Sharon will interview guests who bring wisdom and sage advice. Sharon will interview all kinds of women, from everyday moms to extraordinary stories. Sharon gets to the heart of the matter by asking the big questions. How these women manage being a mom or a business owner or just being a woman. You'll hear how they prevent themselves from becoming workaholics either in their career or with their families, and still find time to fulfill their quest for calm and personal fulfillment. For more information on Sharon, check out her website, proactiveparenting.net. Then be here for Getting to the Heart of the Matter with Sharon Silver. Every Thursday at 1 Eastern, noon Central, part of the Her Insight Network on TogiNet.com. Get ready for the Not So Soccer Mom, Tuesday afternoons at 1 Eastern, noon Central, on TogiNet with Jill Hickey. You name it, from politics to pop culture to Jill's search for the perfect bronzer and chicken salad. The Not So Soccer Mom will weigh in on it all. The sentence, "I have no opinion about that," is one that Jill has never uttered. In the early 90s, Jill finally decided to put her thoughts, opinions, mom advice, love of pop culture, hummus, and Starbucks, working out, cosmetic shopping, and politics into an actual website, and thus NotSoSoccerMom.com was born. Shortly after her fourth child, a boy, Jerome, now she's really got tons of topics to share with you. This is Laugh Out Loud Funny, and we're not kidding. What's a loud Nebraska girl who lived in Little Rock for many years and now is up in the Northeast doing? Chronicling her opinions on everything. The wheels aren't off yet, but it's close. It's the Not So Soccer Mom with Jill Hickey, Tuesday afternoons at 1 Eastern, noon Central, on TogiNet.com.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front, with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now, let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Tina Gonzalez and Sandra Back.
Hey, military moms. We are back with Dr. Silene Young. She works for Veterinary Pet Insurance, which is the largest and one of the oldest veterinary pet insurance companies in the country, and they offer a military discount. And if you wanted to sign up for pet insurance, which, as our lovely co-host Tina so definitely illustrated, it gets really crazy expensive when your pet gets sick. And Silene, can you please share with us where the military members go to get their military discount and how to do that? Can you give that to us too again?
Absolutely. So 2 locations you can go. The easy way is to call in. That's 1-800-USA Pets, and just let them know you're a military member, and you'll get the discount applied that way. If you prefer to sign up online, you want to go to www.eb, that's B as in boy, .petinsurance.com, and then you're going to click on employees/members and type in military, and you'll see a line come up that says military, fire, police, and click on that, and it'll get you to the discount. You'll go through the same process, but it'll apply the discount.
That is awesome. That's so good to know. And like you said, you know, some pet insurance companies, or a lot of them, have come and gone over the last 28 years, but Veterinary Pet Insurance, who first insured Lassie as their first, animal insuree, they have been around a long time. They're stable. They will cover your pet no matter where you are in the world, as long as you go to a licensed veterinarian. Am I correct, Silene?
That is correct.
That is correct. Okay, so we've done our shameless pitch for veterinary pet insurance.
Thank you.
So we've done our job for that part, and because you've been a veterinarian for so long, and I know you personally, and I know how funny you are, I would love for you to share with us a little bit about the Hambone Award. And before we do, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about who you're married to and why does that apply to Military Mom Talk Radio.
Yeah, it does apply. My husband is an ex-Marine, served in the first Gulf War, is not in anymore, but I have a pretty strong ties to the military from that standpoint. And my father, who's remarried, has married into a military family as well. And so it's pretty important to us in our family from many aspects. So thanks for asking.
Well, and he's doing a tour of duty with you, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's worse.
He went from one to the other. So why don't you tell Tina and our listeners and myself a little bit about this Hambone Award?
Yeah, I just thought this would be fun. This is something that the company started a couple of years ago. We get animals do crazy things. That's why we love them. They provide us with humor. I think that's why most of us have them, along with a little bit of comfort here and there. And so we started getting all these claims in, and the people that work here are all animal lovers. And they're like, wouldn't it be fun if we could have a contest for the craziest claim, the craziest case that we got? And so we started doing that, and we select one a month, put them up online, and at the end of the year, people online vote for the best case. So we just announced the winner for this year, for 2010, and it is a 1-year-old Labrador named Ellie, and she ate an entire beehive full of bees, and I might add pesticide, because the reason she got to the beehive is they had it sprayed to knock it down and kill the bees. So a couple of days after eating it, nobody noticed, and then she started feeling not so well, and she started having bees come out of both ends. The good news is they were all dead. So she was actually pretty lucky. She didn't get stung, and the pesticide they used was pet safe. And so other than a little bit of stomach upset, some vomiting and such not, and having to get rid of the bees, she did very well, and she won our Hambone Award this year.
I think that's deserving, to eat a beehive full of bees and pesticides and live to at least bark about it. I don't think she could tell about it. But that's a pretty amazing story. Do you remember any of the runners up?
I do. There was actually a tortoise that was a runner-up, which was interesting. Usually we get cats and dogs. And apparently he had tried to do something, and he actually scraped his skin off trying to get his head out of his own shell.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Hambone Award was named after a dog that got stuck in a fridge after a holiday and ate the entire ham bone while he was waiting to be rescued, which he was, and he was fine. So that's where the Hambone Award comes from.
So that's where the Hambone Award comes from.
Wow.
This is why we have pet insurance.
Expect to hear. That's right. Oh my gosh. So there was something that happened to you a while back. I'm going to delve into your personal life now, because that's what I do. That happened when you were en route to a hockey game, and I will just give the end of the story saying you ultimately did not miss the hockey game. So can you share that story with us?
Never. I will. I don't know how many hockey fans you have online, but actually it's interesting that women are generally bigger hockey fans than men, so I think that was interesting. I had season tickets for the Columbus Blue Jackets, their very first season, brand new team, very first home game, and I was working in my clinic and got bit in the face by a dog who was not pleased with my interaction with him, I guess. And I realized that I had a hockey game to go to that evening, so I finished taking care of the animals, got myself to the hospital, got stitched up, declined pain medication, and went straight to the hockey game, at which point I had a whole number of people wondering if I was part of the team, because by that time I had about 25 stitches in my face and was pretty black and blue. But yeah, so that's my dog-eat person story.
Well, I just think that so illustrates, like, military mom talk radio. Like, it just doesn't matter, what we're doing. We still go on the air. Our families still serve. No matter what happens, we just keep going. And, when you get bit in the head with a dog and you just decline pain medication so you could go to the hockey game, that's just perfect.
Well, thank you. It was a great game, too.
What do you think, Tina? You think she's an okay kind of girl?
Yep, I think she dealt with it and overcome and still was able to make it to where she was supposed to be. That's a woman for you. I think that's just a woman. We don't let anything stop us.
Well, you can't.
Objective. I know, you can't. Things end up coming up along the way that weren't supposed to happen, and we just have to adapt and overcome, and we still make it to the objective. That's all that matters, as long as we make it there.
That's exactly right.
That's right. So, Silene, there had to be some great stories that you can share with us from not only your vet practice, but your experience with, with animals over the years. Can you share a couple of those with us? Sure.
Well, how about, since you brought it up, I bring my husband into this story?
Oh, yeah, we love that, because we pick on Richard all the time.
Yeah, this is very important. So, big, strong Marine, was in recon.
Big. Let's paint a picture here. How big is he?
My husband's 6'9" and about 235 pounds. So he's big and strong. And so I was working really late one night because I had rescued away from an owner that was not caring properly for a little Chihuahua who was having a difficult time giving birth, and they didn't want to treat her. And so I ended up taking her away from them. They signed her over to my care. And so I had to take her at about 1 o'clock in the morning into surgery, and my husband stopped by work to see what I was up to, wondering why I wasn't home. And I said, well, I have to do surgery on this dog. I have to remove the puppy because it's stuck and the dog is going to die. So I went ahead and he asked if he could watch, and I said absolutely. So we masked him and gowned him, and he stood aside and watched. And this is all moms on here, so you've all given birth, and it's not a clean process. And when the puppy's been in there or stuck in there for a while, the puppy, by the way, didn't make it. It died hours earlier. So the whole thing isn't very pleasant. I'm going to be as clean as I can since I'm on public radio here. Anyway, not very pleasant. Doesn't smell very good and very colorful. So I went ahead and you have to actually cut the puppy in half, unfortunately, because it wouldn't go out either way. But it was dead, and we finished that. I spayed her while I was at it, and sewed the little mommy Chihuahua up, and she did great. Now, the best part of the story is about halfway through this procedure, I took a look over to see how my husband was doing. Not so well. He was about the same color of some of the stuff I was busy trying to handle in the dog. And I looked at him and I said, sweetheart, you look a little green. He just looked at me and I said, why don't you go sit down before you fall in my surgery? And we had to shoo him out of the room, and he had to go wait and lay down in the other room until I was finished.
How funny that is. My husband sat in a kiddie pool and helped well, we had a pit bull at the time. He helped our female pit bull give birth to 8 puppies.
Oh, awesome.
He did it the whole time, and I'm like, now remember, it's kind of like birth, because our puppies were born a week after our youngest son. I'm like, remember, it's like birth. He's like, I've been through 4 births. I can do a puppy. And he did. He helped. Puppies got stuck in everything, and he pulled them out, and after birth and everything, as I'm sitting over here going, oh, my gosh, I cannot watch this. I cannot watch this.
Awesome.
But, yeah, he did. He helped deliver. That's funny, because I'm trying to picture your husband, where my husband's like, oh, it's fine. Just give me gloves. I'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I just think, were you guys married yet, Silene?
We were not. So
he still married you after you sawed a dog in half?
Oh, yeah. It's dangerous to be married to vets. The things that we do for a living can be pretty scary to a guy.
I think they're pretty scary to just about anybody sometimes.
Hey, you know what? The dog lived. She did great. I found a new home for her, and she did wonderfully, so that's what matters at the end of the day.
Oh, that's terrific. So, quickly, we've only got about a minute till the end of the show. It goes really fast. Is there one piece of advice, Silene, that you can give to pet owners, because of your veterinary experience, because you're a pet owner yourself, and that you would give advice to our listeners today?
Yeah, I would say a couple things. The first is make sure that your pet gets routine veterinary care. That's 1 to 2 times a year, depending on the age of the pet. Prevention, just like in human medicine, is the key to keeping your pet healthy. And waiting too long always costs you more than getting preventative care up front. That's probably the biggest thing. And then, of course, I have to advocate for pet insurance, because something will happen to your pet at some point, and it really will be there to help you. Okay.
Well, we are here today with Dr. Silene Young. She is the Director for Veterinary Pet Insurance. We also had Erin Ferucci, who joined us from her company, E. Ferucci Designs. We will be dark next week on Labor Day weekend. Tina and I wish you a very happy Labor Day, and we will catch you after the holidays.